Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to be sewing the gown we cut out in the previous video. So the long gown with front slits and exaggerated sleeves. Thank you so much for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and leave suggestions down below of things you'd like me to try and make next. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with the back piece, and before we start sewing, just gonna arrange this and transfer all my dart points. So just make sure everything is aligned. It's properly aligned. And then I'll transfer my dart points. So I'll use a pin. I've sewn the darts of all the back pieces, the two lining, and it's time to work on the front piece. So before working on the front piece, we need to decide where our slit is going to be, and I want my slit on the left side of my body, so that's on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and join the panel for the right sides together. That's like the side piece, the right side piece with the middle piece. I'll go ahead and join that together, and I'm also going to go ahead and join the panel of the lining of the right sides together. So I will do that and come back to show you guys the result. This is really important. I'm not going to join the left piece yet. I'm going to join just the right side of the front piece, the right side to the middle. So now that we've done this, we need to decide how high you want your slits to be. How does the idea of slits make me so excited? I don't know. So yes, how high do I want my slits to be? So I want this dress. So my slit is going to be 25 inches long. So remember, I added 2 inches, so 25 plus 2 inches for the underneath. So 27. So I'm just gonna come here and mark where I want my slit. So 27 inches for the slits. So I'll mark 27 inches, which is how high I want my slits. I can also just notch it. So you can just notch it at 27 inches. So this is my 27 inches. Just notch it here. So I'm going to go ahead now and join the bottom part of this to the bottom part. So now that I've joined the right side of the lining to the right side of the cloth, I'm going to go ahead and push my 2 inches up, or basically just move this all the way up here, and I'll pin it in place. For now, I'm just going to pin. this, I'm going to go ahead and also notch this place on the lining. You know, I notched it just on the fabric before, so I'll notch it, then I will turn it like this and sew these two sides together. So I'm sewing right sides together because now I'm trying to make our slit. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these two sides together. Stitch this just to make sure that, you know, this isn't slipping out in front and showing. Yeah, so I'll just top stitch on the lining, not on the fabric, because you want to keep it inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and top stitch on the lining. Going to do the same thing for this side as well. So I'm going to go ahead, join it from underneath. After joining, it together, I'm going to go ahead, just pin it up so I can have my 2 inches inside. So we're going to go ahead and sew up to this point. Yeah, I'm going to start from here, just sew up to, just sew it all the way down. So after joining this, our slit is ready. Now it's time to join the rest together. Yeah, I know this is quite complicated, but just pay attention and just like this. I'm going to top stitch the lining on the inside just so it stays put. So now the final step for the front piece. I'm going to unpin this. I would go ahead and join the right, like the middle to the left panel, the middle panel to the left panel. So I'll go ahead and join it, and then I would also join the lining. So just pin it in place, so this way and then sew this way. So join the, but you need to make sure you join it properly so there's no hole or gaping hole. So you're just going to join together. Use your 1/2 inch sewing allowance to join it together, and I'll do that and show you guys, and it's going to give us a very clean, neat finish on like the slits, the insides, everything will just be neat and clean. So I've joined it and I've ironed it, and here is our beautiful slit. Oh my god. Okay, we're going to get it together. Anyway, yes, so here we are. Here is our slit, and here is the inner part of our front piece. Can you guys see how fine it is? So fine. Okay, let me get it together. I'm serious. Yeah, and this is why I added an extra 2 inch, so you know this just looks. So after doing this, I'm going to go ahead and turn the upper part, the neck. Just gonna go like this, sew it rather, just the upper part. I'm not going to sew this side, I'm going to sew just the upper part, right sides together. And then after doing this, I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the back. I'm going to sew the upper part of the back and the lower part of the back together. I'm going ahead to turn the upper part of the front piece right sides together, so now we have a neat finish up here, and our slit is ready. I've ironed it down. You can see how nice and neat it looks on the inside and also on the outside. It's just a very nice and neat finish. Then I also turned the upper and the lower part of the back panels. So now it's time to fix in our zipper. And if you noticed, for the back panel, this upper part, I didn't turn it all the way to the end because I've ironed the zip allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the zip before I come and turn this, so the inner part of the zip can also look really neat and nicely finished. So I'll just go ahead now to pin this, I'll make sure my zip goes just beneath my hip line so it can be easy to wear from underneath, because I prefer wearing my dresses from underneath. It's way easier, and I can do my makeup before wearing it without having to worry about the dress cleaning off my makeup. So I'm going to end it just here. So after attaching the zip, I'll go ahead and pin my lining down to the point where I stopped sewing the zip, just all the way down on both sides. Then I'll come and sew really close to this thread here that shows where I sewed my zip. I will just sew down, so that way I would cover the zip, the inner part of the zip, and the only thing that would show would just be the tip of the zip. So you also go ahead and finish off the edge of the upper part that we left open earlier. Trim this. So here, this is what it will look like on the inside, and this is what we're trying to achieve, so we can have a neat professional finish. So we can have a neat finish on the inside and the outside. So I'll go ahead and do the same for the second panel, for the second back panel. So I've attached the zip on both sides of the back. I've turned it on the inside with the lining. So next step is to attach the two back pieces together. So I've attached the zip to the back. We're done attaching the zip now. So the next stage is to sew the lower parts together. All you need to do is attach fabric to fabric and lining to lining, right sides together. So basically all you need to do is just sew like this all the way down and continue with the lining. So sew fabric, right sides of fabric together, then sew the right sides of the lining together. This is it. This is the inner part of our fabric, the zip. I've not ironed it, but I'm going to go ahead and iron it so it's going to look neat. But yes, and this is the outer part. So now that we're done with the back, the next stage is to iron the seams properly and then attach front and back together. We're making progress. We'll soon be done. I'm so excited about this gown, but yes, Rami, focus. So we're going to attach iron, then attach the front and the back pieces together. Now the next step is to attach the front and the back pieces together. So just check your measurements. I'm going to use the allowance. We left half an inch allowance for both sides. I'll just check to make sure I still have the right measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and join fabric to fabric and lining to lining. So front and back of the fabric and front and back of the lining. So just go ahead, sew it together, and then we're almost done. We're almost done. And yes, after this we'll go ahead and prepare our sleeves. I've joined the front and the back together of both the fabric and the lining, and I must say, guys, like, I'm really excited about this. I wish I'd gotten a closer match of the lining though, but yes, so this is what it looks like on the inside, and this is what it looks like on the outside. So now that we're done with the, we'll go ahead and work on the sleeves, then we'll come back to this. So I'll change my thread to white. I'm going to go ahead and fold this to create a channel for the elastic, because we're going to insert elastic inside this, hold the sleeves together. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this to create the channel for the elastic. I'm going to do the same up here to create the channel for the elastic. So I'll do that for both sleeves. Using the safety pin to insert our elastic into the channel that we created. So you need to decide how tight or how loose you want it to be and insert your elastic into the channel that you created. Just go ahead and insert my elastic. So we created a channel up and down, the upper part and the lower part of the sleeves, because we're going to have elastic on both the upper part and the lower part. So that is what will give it that puffy look. So you're just going to go ahead and use your needle and thread, your machine, to sew this down. This is to secure the elastic so it doesn't remove. So just sew it down on both sides, and then we'll go ahead and do the same for the upper bit. Elastic is secured, and then I'll go ahead, right sides together, make sure it's right sides together, and I'll sew all the way, fold into and sew all the way, and our sleeves will be ready. So I've done that for this already. So when you fold and sew all the way, you're gonna have this balloon-like sleeve. Yeah. So before attaching the sleeve, I'll just measure to make sure I have the right measurement here. I should have 13 inclusive of sewing allowance, and what I have here is 13, so that's fine by me. So I'll just trim away the excesses that we have here. Use the back as my guide. Trim away the excesses. So when trimming away, I didn't touch the upper parts, it's just the sides I trimmed off. So I'll do the same for both sides, and then it will be time to attach our sleeves. So I'll go ahead and attach my sleeves. So to attach the sleeves, all you need to do is just right sides together, the middle part of the sleeves to the middle part to the middle of the bodice, and then sew all the way down, and do the same for this side. if you have a serger, you can just go ahead and overlock the inner part. I don't have one yet, so I'm just going to use zigzag stitches to finish that. But yes, I'll go ahead now and attach the second bit. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So I must say I'm really happy with the results of this gown. I hope you guys try it out, and I would love to read your comments about your experiences making this dress. So until the next video, see you. Bye bye.